A new era for Northern Ireland and a clear signal that we've moved away from conflict to a country at peace. The words of our First and Deputy First Ministers in the run-up to next week's G8 summit of world leaders in County Fermanagh. But not everyone shares their view that the summit will showcase Northern Ireland and deliver a lasting economic legacy. A short time ago, Peter Robinson joined me in the studio and I began by asking him why he thinks it's good for Northern Ireland to be hosting the G8.
Well, I think the Prime Minister put his finger on it. This is something that simply couldn't have happened 10, 20, 30 years ago. And it's therefore a signal and a demonstration that Northern Ireland has changed and changed for the better. The Prime Minister has had the confidence to put Northern Ireland as the venue for world leaders to come. And you don't do that unless you have a high degree of confidence. Maybe the other reason, and I'm not trying to be controversial with this, but it is also a recognition of Northern Ireland's place within the United Kingdom. This is a United Kingdom choice venue, and it's good to see that the Prime Minister is standing by Northern Ireland and recognises its importance within the Union.
Is Martin McGuinness comfortable about that?
Well, everybody knows that this is the United Kingdom's choice. They're chairing the event, so nobody is under any illusion that it's anything other than that. And I think it's good that there's this recognition. And I think we're all much more comfortable now than we ever have been before about our own individual identities. So I don't think anybody feels uncomfortable about that.
Will you and he be putting your best foot forward together while the G8 leaders are in Northern Ireland?
Well, we always do. We'll be there to welcome visitors. And I can't think the number of visitors, but we must be talking about 10,000 people coming into Northern Ireland from outside, whether it's in the delegations or whether it's amongst the protesters.
To be honest, how much do you think the leaders will even notice that they're in Northern Ireland?
We're holding a reception, so the Prime Minister is kindly bringing the guests in to talk to us, so we'll have the opportunity to say something about Northern Ireland and what it has to offer.
And what do you think the tangible benefits will be for Northern Ireland PLC?
I think a lot of people look at these things in pounds and pence. I don't, because for Northern Ireland, a lot of this is about reputational enhancement. It's about doing away with the image of Northern Ireland from the past. The only recognition that there has been of Northern Ireland for many countries around the world has been when it was highlighted in the news programmes during periods where there has been conflict and division. This is an opportunity for us to showcase ourselves, let people see what Northern Ireland looks like, let them see the beautiful scenery of Fermanagh, and let them see that Northern Ireland has moved on.
Do you accept that there's a balance to strike, though, between Northern Ireland putting its best foot forward, but on the other hand, actually massaging the facts? I mean, there were some people from Fermanagh who were critical recently about the overhaul that Enniskillen has had itself. They say it's a mirage designed to give the impression of prosperity in the town, and it doesn't really tell the truthful story. Do you feel at all uncomfortable about that?
Well, I'd rather imagine if you've got guests coming to your house, you probably clear the tea table before they come in. It's not unusual for people to try and improve the visual amenity of an area if they're having guests.
Yeah, well, you might clear the table. Well, you might clear the table, but you might not necessarily paint the entire house.
Well, it depends, I suppose, how important the guest is to you. But is this not good for Fermanagh? They're getting things, whether it's in terms of their internet connections, which are being improved, if there is a physical improvement in the area. Well, I would have thought that the elected representatives and the people of Fermanagh would be very happy with that.
You've got this meeting with the Prime Minister in Downing Street tomorrow, you and the Deputy First Minister, Martin McGuinness, to finalise a package of economic measures for Northern Ireland. What level of investment are we looking at, potentially?
Everything can't be put down to pounds and pence. Indeed, if it was, that sounds more like begging bowl economics to me. The whole purpose of what we're doing is a recognition, I think, on the part of both the government and the executive, that there are two key features to the future of Northern Ireland. One is the economy and the other is a shared future. And what we're attempting to do is to put in place the kind of measures, economic and fiscal issues, that will assist us in getting growth in our economy over that period of time and to close the gap between our divided communities.
OK, I've seen figures, I've seen estimates in the past 24 hours of this package ranging from a value of 200 million to nearly 400 million. Where do you think it might be on that scale?
Well, again, you're putting a price tag against each of the features. There are features contained there that give us the ability to do things. There are other features that allow us to borrow. There are features that give us actual funds in our hands. So there's a whole range of measures. And don't forget, it is a pact. It's not just what Her Majesty's government is doing for Northern Ireland. It's what Northern Ireland intends to do as well. So it's a pact being signed between the government and the executive.
Well, will you be putting a figure on it tomorrow? Will you be coming out tomorrow and saying this is a 200 million package, this is a potentially 300 million pound package?
Well, this is a fully transparent package. The pact is there over a considerable number of pages. It will be an easy calculation if all that a pact means to people is the amount of money that Northern Ireland gets. To me, it is much more than that, and I think it's important because it's more than that. It's the enabling Northern Ireland to do things.
OK. Here's the critical point. Are you absolutely clear in your mind, and can you reassure people watching this tonight, that it will be meaningful, that it will make a real difference to people's lives on the ground in Northern Ireland?
Of course it's beneficial. I mean, anything that we get beyond where we are at the present time is beneficial. But we have never argued, and I won't be arguing tomorrow either, that this is something that replaces our desire to have what we believe to be the game changer, namely the ability to set our own level of corporation tax.
You're still committed to that?
I'm still committed to that, and I think all of us should continue to be fighting to get that, because I think that would be the most significant change to our ability to grow our economy.
Jobs are absolutely critical. The latest jobs figures, in line with the rest of the UK, unemployment here 7.8%, 64,100 people on the unemployed register. What will they get? What hope will they get when this deal is signed tomorrow?
Yeah, well, I'm delighted that the previous month it was 8.1 and it's now 7.8. It's good to see that general direction of travel. But for the 7.8% of the population that is unemployed, and indeed for that section which would come under the heading of economically inactive, anything that grows our economy benefits them.
This, of course, is an issue where you are not in the driving seat. Let's be absolutely honest. David Cameron is in the driving seat, and there's an argument that the British government is adopting something of a carrot and stick approach in all of this. I mean, the carrot is the package tomorrow, but the stick is you and Martin McGuinness and others in the executive have got to sort yourselves out and move forward properly on a shared future. Now, we saw a plan put on the table a few weeks back. There's still enough of that, an awful lot of that is in pencil rather than ballpoint pen. Do you accept that?
Well, first of all, I don't consider it to be a carrot and a stick. I consider it to be two carrots, because this is the advocated policy of the executive, that we want to move forward in terms of our economy, and at the same time we want to have a shared and united community in Northern Ireland. So nobody needs to have a stick to get us to move in that direction. Indeed, I think something of our impatience was shown by the Deputy First Minister and I deciding that we were prepared to put our proposals out in spite of others being critical about the process, because we had hung around for so long trying to get everybody in a line and bringing it forward.
Yes, well, you did that, of course. I mean, many people saw a degree of choreography. You tabled your strategy very shortly after the Secretary of State said that's what she required you to do, and then, hey presto, there's a big economic announcement from the Treasury tomorrow.
No, well, I think what people would have seen if they'd been behind the scenes is a lot of frustration on the part of the Deputy First Minister and I about the processes that were grinding so slowly in terms of getting it out. We had made it clear, I think, some months beforehand to the Secretary of State that we were keen to get the document out and keen to put out proposals out.
Yeah, you put proposals on the table, but with respect, you just set aside the really difficult bits like parades, flags and the past. I mean, you didn't resolve them at all.
We didn't set them aside. We recognised that those were difficult issues, and we have therefore set up a process to deal with those difficult issues. And we indicated that we're setting up an all-party group. We indicated that we were going to put an independent chairperson from outside of the Assembly in charge of it, and we've been moving that forward. We've met with the other party leaders, we've looked at a list of possible candidates, and we've reached an agreement on a process to move forward.
How did that differ significantly from the situation before, where you tried to resolve it and failed? I mean, all you did was try again. You just looked at another way of trying to solve the same old problems that you weren't able to solve.
Well, don't be disparaging about the principle of trying again.
I'm not, but the point is you are still trying again.
Yeah, with a slightly different format, in the hope that the independent chairperson and the stakeholders being involved will change and gain some momentum for the process. I hope that people will recognise that it is important that we do increase the pace of getting our shared future and resolving outstanding issues.
How hopeful are you, Mr Robinson, about the forthcoming marching season? Because a lot of people say, if it's peaceful, then we're in a much better place. If it picks up where we left off as far as the flags disputes are concerned, we're in real trouble.
Well, I don't think that I would part in any way from that kind of thinking. I think it's important that we do have a peaceful marching season where people can enjoy and celebrate their traditions, that it's done in a respectful way, and that the same kind of respect and tolerance is shown to those who are marching.
Do you think things look better, more positive now than they perhaps did a few months ago?
Well, I think there's a much better feel in Northern Ireland. I don't want to use the word green in terms of the green shoots in our economy. I don't want to indicate that we're now in a recovery mode, but I think there are signals that we are turning the corner. That makes people feel better, it improves the mood in Northern Ireland. It gives us the kind of backcloth against which it is possible for us to put forward and try and increase the pace in terms of the shared future. And all of those things combined together can give us a better background against which we can look forward to the marching season.
Is that a sea change?
I think it is an improvement, but ultimately it is the people of Northern Ireland who will decide their own future. There are difficult challenges for us. There are decisions that we have to face, and everybody doesn't got everything that they want whenever you come to reaching agreements. So it is important that people are prepared to stretch themselves in order to create a better society for our young people to grow up in.
Peter Robinson, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.